Welcome to Football Miami TV. This is Uncle Ed, and I'm here with Peter. Peter, tell us what's today's subject.
Well, we've got several things we're going to talk about, and thank you for joining us for another episode of FMTV. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, Ed, is Inter Miami's branding.
Okay.
Because as I'm wearing the shirt for Inter Miami, I love their logo, but I didn't love it at first. I'm interested in thoughts and opinions that everybody may have on this subject. So again, comment down below. Give us your thoughts and opinions on the Inter Miami branding. But I come from a graphic background. For those that may not know, that's kind of what I do on my regular job. And so, when I look at the crest, I see it almost as a stick figure crest.
Right.
And so I start wondering, it's like, it's unique for MLS for sure. And I think overall people are loving it.
Right.
But I'll be honest, when I first looked at it, I'm like,
yeah.
And then it's growing on me.
I was kind of the same way. When I first saw it, I was like, it's not too, I don't know, there was something about it. But it's growing on me, and I like it. Now, as you can see, I have it all over the place.
Do you think... Now, I know one of their targets, one of their ideas was to make it a very kind of South American look and feel. Do you think it has a South American feel?
I don't know, man. It's maybe the shield part of it. It's got the Club Internacional de Futbol. It's in Spanish. They're looking, to get that target out. There's a lot of Spanish-speaking people that live in Miami. Some of it, I mean, it's also kind of Americanized, and
sure,
the round part.
The one thing I do like about it in modern design is clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clean logo.
It's clean.
It's very clean. I think it's one of those logos that when I read comments online, people say they're following the team instantly based on that logo.
Yeah,
they love it. I think overall, I think they did a great job. It's just one of those things that I looked at it at first, took me a few minutes.
Right.
Do I love it?
You thought it was a flamingo, didn't you?
I think I thought it was a flamingo,
yeah,
but
that's what I thought so too.
It's a heron, and let's talk about those herons. They represent freedom, apparently.
Yeah, well, herons. I mean, at first I was like, I had to look it up. I think everybody had to
Well,
look
let's
it
talk
up
about that.
Yeah,
their migration paths span from southern coast of Alaska to the northern beaches of Colombia and Brazil. Give us that South American feel right there, I guess. Okay. That we're Miami, right? So we're gonna have a South American feel. However, our heron is a great white heron, which is a permanent resident of South Florida.
Right.
He's got his green card.
Okay.
And
Gringo. American.
And apparently,
America. Mm-hmm.
The mythologies around the world of herons. Herons are a symbol of power, protection, and patience.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you read the stuff that the team put up about the heron, okay, it makes sense. But are herons tough? I mean, I guess you can look at it like some other soccer logos around the world. Tottenham, they got a chicken, right? Isn't that a chicken of some sort?
Yeah, they look like chicken.
France, their logo has I think they also have some sort of
rooster.
Rooster is okay, all right, chicken. Another word for basically chicken.
It's chicken,
right? So I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So the nickname of the team is going to end up being naturally, probably Herons.
Herons, yeah. It doesn't.
Oh, Herons.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know.
It doesn't flow. But well, I think it's a good idea, I guess. Based on what you read about it, being a powerful bird
and viewers,
it's a bird of prey.
I'm being overly critical. At the end of the day, I love the logo.
Mm-hmm.
It just took me a little bit. Yeah. And I'm just curious what your thoughts and opinions are. One of the coolest things I think about the heron, legs form an M.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. They're kind of like holding claws, I guess you could call them.
I don't know.
There's a sun.
They communicate unity, and they are unbreakable.
Okay, that's cool. And scale of 1 to 10, what's your?
Give it maybe an 8.
8. Yeah, I'd give it an 8 too.
So let's talk about the colors.
All right.
Black and pink.
I like black. Back in my when I was a Ute.
Yeah.
I used to always wear black. I had my little punk
A little
slash,
punk
New
rocker.
Waver hair. I had like,
I've seen a
purple
couple of those
hair.
pictures. Man, you look
Yeah.
like a totally different guy.
Yeah, I had hair. But yeah, I mean, it's all okay with the black. Pink. What do you
Pink
think
is
about that?
Miami, right?
Yeah.
I think when you're creating a team and you want to be different, right? So Orlando grabbed purple. Great job. They painted the city purple. So I think they own that color, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So Miami had to do something similar.
We own pink.
We had to own a color.
Yeah.
You can't make your team red. There's too many red teams.
Everybody's got red.
Can't make it blue. Too many blue teams.
Yeah.
Could have put aqua. Some teal or aqua would have been nice in there.
Yeah.
But the rumor is they're still going to incorporate that somewhere in the branding, maybe behind the logo or something like that at different parts at different times. So, I mean, that's a very identifiable color to the sports landscape in South Florida.
Yeah, but we own pink now. I mean, no other team has it.
I mean, real men wear pink, right?
Yeah,
that's what they say.
That's for sure. So we're going to be wearing pink, and I'm going to be wearing pink.
The funny thing is, my wife has always wanted me to wear pink shirts.
Same thing with me. My wife
and I
said
never
the
do.
same thing.
I never do.
Wear pink. Wear pink. I'm like, no.
Now I'm going to have pink. Now I'm going to have to go out. I got my Apple Watch. I'm going to have to get a pink band.
Yeah.
Right? Get some pink Converse.
We got to do it.
I'm all in on pink now.
Mm-hmm. Now we're all about pink.
But, it does, when you look at the branding, it looks very unique, very identifiable. I mean, of course, there are other teams in the world that are black and pink.
Right.
Palermo. There's some Danish team that's got a weird logo. But in MLS, I mean, it's super identifiable. You see it, you think Miami, you think Miami Vice.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
Yeah. We got to do an episode where we're like dressed up Miami Vice style.
I remember those days.
You can be Crockett, I'll be Tubbs. We'll see how that goes.
So I'm curious with the viewers what your thoughts and opinions are.
Yeah,
so comment down below.
Guys.
Are you happy that the team is wearing pink? Are you happy that we've got a bird? There's other birds in soccer.
Yeah, at least we're not a chicken.
We're not
That's
a chicken.
kind of overdone.
We're not a chicken.
We're not chicken. So
all right,
that's good. All right, well let's move on. And I'm wearing USA.
Well, why might you be wearing that?
Well, it's signed by the whole team that went to the World Cup. That's Jurgen Klinsmann, the
whoa,
last
whoa.
World Cup. Oh.
You said the whole team that went to the World Cup. There's somebody there that did not actually go to the World Cup.
It's this guy right here. That's Landon Donovan. He even put number 10 on it. He didn't go to the World Cup. So this is signed when he was still in training camp here in Miami. And Jurgen, of course, signed right up here. And Jurgen didn't take him. I think that was the beginning of the end of Donovan's career.
And Jurgen.
And Jurgen, too.
It was a big mistake. But we wanted to talk about this because it's time for them to make a decision on the coach. Yeah. Rumor is that they could make a decision at the end of this month. Mm-hmm. End of this month is just it's really close.
Right.
We're very close to the end of the month. Mm-hmm. Maybe even if it's stretched into November, the end of November, I'd be okay. But we've had a temporary coach for way too long. It's time for them to make a decision. And so there's a bunch of names that have been floated about, some popular names. And go through a couple.
Most of them are American, too. We got Tab Ramos. We got Jesse Marsh. Peter Vermees. Dave Sarakan.
Mm-hmm. Current coach.
Greg Berhalter. Out of those people, who do you think...
I don't know. I know the popular opinion is Greg Berhalter. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see. I'm a fan of Oscar Pereira. I kind of watch FC Dallas from a distance. I enjoy that team. Yeah. But I know Berhalter is definitely the popular opinion. But what I'm really curious.
I was going to mention on SBI, Soccer by Eyes, by the way, they've got an article and they got a poll. Basically, Berhalter is number one, and Oscar Pereira has number two.
Yeah, if you haven't gone to SBIsoccer.com, definitely check them out. They're a great resource. A lot of fun to read their stuff.
Yeah, we always check them out. And he's been down here to Miami a couple times, so we always.
So the question I have, Ed, is should it be an American coach? Because all these coaches are American. They understand the American player.
Well,
Oscar Pereira is not an American, but he is an American coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent so many years here in America. Granted, he may not be American descent. He maybe what, he's Colombian originally, I think.
But Generalito, they call him, little general.
Yeah, but he's been here for so long as a player and now as a coach that I think he counts as an American coach. He knows the American players. But what's the right decision? Is it to bring in an American coach? Is it to bring in a foreign coach? The American coaches, sometimes have struggled to get us to that next level. Granted, so have the foreign coaches. Everybody thought Jurgen Klinsmann was going to get us to that next level, and we took a step backwards.
And you know what
Giant
happened
step.
then?
Giant step backwards.
And ruined Donovan's career.
So Ed, what's your opinion? American or foreign?
You know what? I'm starting to lean towards Oscar Pareja. Why? Because
he's both.
He's both, and he's basically both. And but he's been doing really well with Dallas, and I think that's important. A coach, and he knows Major League Soccer, so he's going to pick out the best players, not just here in the States, but across the pond, and that's important, I think. Who else do you think? Are you also on the Pareja train?
I don't know. Is there a foreign coach out there that maybe has more experience with the World Cup? The World Cup is different. You're taking a coach that has never coached in the World Cup. Now, everybody's got to have their first. Bruce Arena was a new American coach at one point.
Right.
And he did well-ish. Some people love him, some people don't. But would it be better? My thinking is, would it be better to find somebody out there that has World Cup experience, that can really prepare this team for what's coming and get them into the World Cup? Somebody that's a specialist in getting them into the World Cup.
That's going to be hard to find, but I can't think of off the top of my head any coach that would, that's European or South American that would, be good. Maybe Barros Escalota. He knows the league. He's been the trainer for the crew for the juniors. He's got a lot of experience, so maybe that's a person that might fit well. He hasn't gone to the World Cup, but he's done pretty well. He's young. He's played with some of the players that are playing now, so I think that would be an interesting pick right there.
Sure. There's I think it definitely the internet is definitely trending more towards an American coach, especially I think because of what Jurgen Klinsmann did, or didn't do.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for an American, I think.
So yeah, I think there's definitely value in that the players, but my main concern is getting somebody that doesn't necessarily know the tournament and what you're getting into in the tournament as much as maybe others.
Sure.
All right, again, put your comments in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts and opinions.
All right. Moving right along, Peter. What there's something some people don't get, which is like, the standings for MLS playoffs. I mean, when I talk to people from out of the country, they're like, "Why do you guys do the playoffs?
Right?
Why doesn't just the first place team win the title?" Maybe you can.
Well, that's a valid question. We do have something called the Supporters Shield, and I thought it'd be fun today, to talk about what is the Supporters Shield. Some teams will put a lot of significance in the Supporters Shield. It is a trophy that the winner of the league gets. So you finish first place in the league. I know Atlanta is right up there. They may be holding that trophy up soon.
Yeah.
As a potentially lose Tata at the end of season, maybe. But the Supporters Shield, I think, is something that a lot of people would probably prefer that be the championship and not have the playoffs. But we're an American league. Americans like playoffs. Yeah. We got the playoffs.
We like playoffs.
But it's interesting. The Supporters Shield has got an interesting history. So it was created in 1997, and it was created by fans. Mm-hmm. So this is a fan-given trophy, which is pretty cool. We used to do something similar to that back in the old days.
Yeah, Miami Fusion actually won it.
Well, I was even going to say you and I did something kind of like this with the Miami Ultras. We had a supporters club, right?
Yeah.
And we would give a Player of the Year award, but it was a fan-given award, right? So this is a much higher level fan-given award. It's a beautiful circular piece of metal plaque that looks great. but it was originally created in Florida
Wow.
by a Tampa Bay Mutiny supporter, Nick Lauris. He came up with the idea.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, and if you're a South Florida soccer fan, you've got no love for Tampa.
No Tampa,
But
and
they did
Orlando.
They did one thing
Mickey Mouse.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is pretty cool though.
He likes Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I'm a big Mickey fan. But it was they each winner of
The league, I guess.
the league
Yeah.
is their team name is inscribed into the trophy. So what's cool is Miami Fusion's on there.
Yeah. On their very last year, they should have been champions. I still think they robbed us, but well, they did rob us of a team. But yeah, Miami's on there.
So an interesting another top little note on this, and this topic came to me from MLSsoccer.com. So they posted up an article on MLSsoccer.com, and I thought, hey, this is an interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah.
So and there's definitely some local ties. Again, Tampa, but even more local ties. So they had this idea of creating this trophy, but they didn't have any money. There was not, you want to build a nice, beautiful trophy. It's gonna be expensive. They didn't have the money to do it, so they started asking for some donations. They got some strong contributions from, at the time, ESPN broadcaster Phil Shane.
Oh wow.
Phil Shane now on
beIN Sports.
beIN Sports, friend of our old show, Ultras Alive.
Yeah, we had him a couple times.
We've interviewed him several times. So he actually chipped in along with the MLS commissioner at the time, Doug Logan.
Oh wow, look at that. A
And
little bit
so-
of history right there.
So they were able to round up enough money to get this thing done, and and then it was finally presented in 1999. So the idea was in 97. It took a little time to get it done, and in 1999 they presented the award to the LA Galaxy of that season.
Nice.
And what was interesting is those teams from previous years were also inscribed on there
Great.
posthumously, if you will.
Yeah, a little bit of history for you guys right there. It's good to know. I had no idea.
Well, because every team, your goal is to win trophies,
Yeah.
right? And it's not always going to be the MLS Cup. I mean, the interesting thing is very few teams, if any, I'd have to look it up, but have won both the Supporters Shield and the MLS Cup for whatever reason. But and some teams at the end of the season, they start putting in their subs. If they've already made it into the playoffs, they kind of coast a little bit.
Right.
But not these current teams. These current teams are really pushing hard to win that trophy. It's another trophy in your trophy case.
They call it the double now, right? Or the triple if they do the U.S. Open, but that's another story.
Yeah,
about.
I love the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But we could definitely go into the history of the U.S. Open on another show. But I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the Supporters Shield because I think it's super cool. It's got local Miami, South Florida ties, Tampa ties. Miami Fusion is inscribed on it. We were the winners on our last season before we were, before we ended, shut down.
But hey, it's part of history.
But it is part of history.
So let's talk about local soccer for a little bit. There's a couple, I think it's weeks now. There was a player that came up. It was in a Boca Raton Football Club.
Yeah. So in our news segment, we wanted to talk about Ocho Cinco.
Oh, Ocho Cinco.
Yeah,
he sounds familiar.
Ocho Cinco is, he's made his name in the old NFL, the other kind of football.
In the other football.
The other kind of football. Very, you love him or hate him type of player, but he's also got a love for soccer, and that's kind of interesting. He, I believe it was with Kansas City last year. He was trying out with them. He played.
Or was it a year before?
Okay.
I think it was a year before.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe 2 years ago.
All right.
But he came out in the news because he tried out for the team.
He did. And obviously they didn't sign him or whatever.
Yeah.
But he is actually playing currently for Boca Raton Football Club. Boca Raton Football Club is, a local team owned by Douglas Heiser, a Brazilian man that lives up in Boca. I've got some good ties with them. During their last season, I did a little radio show for them. So they're good friends of us, and we will definitely have them on a future show. But what a great get,
Right.
publicity-wise,
Right.
for a 4th division team in the NPSL They're right now not in the NPSL season, so they're playing in some like local, regional type tournaments.
Right.
But he looked pretty good. I saw some pictures. I saw little clips here and there. I mean, he looked like he knew what he was doing out there.
Well, he's definitely fast. We got to go out there and check out the game, and maybe we're gonna film, and maybe we'll even interview the guy.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
but
so it'll be interesting to see what he's got. And how old is he? Do you know?
No, Google it.
Oh, we'll Google it next time. But let's talk a little bit more about MLS. There's a couple of players that they're talking about, but one of them kind of stood up a little bit that we noticed. It was
well, he had a good World Cup.
Yeah.
And he recently played in a game against the United States and scored against the United States, and that's Peru's Edison Flores.
Yeah.
So there's been some recent interest by MLS teams. We don't know which MLS team at this time, but MLS has been interested in this player.
Yeah. He's young. He's 24 years old right now.
He's short.
He's short. I think he's 5'7". He's a winger. Fast kid. But those are the type of players that I think MLS needs to concentrate on. Get some of these younger players, while they're up and coming. He tied the USA with his goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting that that MLS is starting to go after these players. I hope it's true. He I think said that he confirmed that there's interest.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's playing for Morelia in Mexico. So he's definitely got the quality. I mean, if he's playing in Mexico, it's a good sign that he's probably the real thing. So I'd be interested to see what team he would go to.
Well, this is the kind of player that a team like Atlanta United has gone after.
Yeah.
They went after like these young, exciting new players, not only just getting the over the hill players like Zlatan, who's still tearing it up,
he's a monster.
And Wayne Rooney, who is a little over the hill but tearing it up. He took a terrible DC United, and now he's they're in the playoffs, himself. Right?
Yeah,
pretty much all by himself.
Carrying the team.
So but as important as those kind of players are for branding and also for what they can do on the field, it's even more exciting to see these young players, these future stars. Like I said, Atlanta did a great job with that, and hopefully Inter Miami is going to do the same because we stole Atlanta's guy,
we got
Paul McDonough, so he's with Inter.
So I think we're going to be good in that sense because they're probably already working on that. They're actually working on the academy or something, which we'll talk about in the future. But I mean, I'm very excited to see what the league has to offer. I think this Major League Soccer will eventually be one of the top leagues in the world. I'm crossing my fingers to happen soon. I thought it was going to happen sooner, but they've done, I think, things the right way by not letting some teams like the Galaxy, for example, get all the best players. I think that that's one of the best things that Major League Soccer has done is try to have everybody level out and play equally. I think. So.
All right, last story. Eric Winalda was named USL's Las Vegas Lights head coach and technical director.
Yeah.
We talked to Eric Winalda back on the old Ultras Alive show.
Yes, we did.
One of the coolest things, being a little fangirl that I was, talking to Eric Winalda, setting him up for the interview as he's going through the drive-through with his daughters, getting some ice cream. So he had to get the ice cream before he could do the interview.
Right.
Good father.
Well, yeah, Eric Winalda. I mean, who doesn't know who Eric Winalda is? He went through a couple of World Cups. He was a top scorer, I think. He played in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He's
scored the first ever MLS goal with the San Jose Clash.
Yeah, so everybody remembers him. He even played for the Fusion.
Yep.
So back in the day, but interesting that he's going to coach for Las Vegas. I think they are very interested in joining Major League Soccer. I think if Beckham would have come to Miami, he probably would have gone to Vegas.
Sure. Well, what's interesting with Winalda is that he has coaching experience. He coached Cal FC, did a very good job with them. He also coached Atlanta Silverbacks.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
In the NASL, he coached via iPad.
It's modern times.
So and the funny thing is when I'm reading articles about this, and I see all the comments on Facebook and all this stuff, and that's the main question everybody has: will he coach with his iPad?
Yeah. Wow.
Because pay in a he works for what, Fox? I think it's Fox.
Wow.
So one of those networks. He's doing commentaries. That pay is much better than any coaching gig he can get in the lower tier soccer. So I don't see him giving that up to go coach. And now Las Vegas is close enough.
Got a nice part time. I'd like that part time.
Las Vegas is close enough to LA and all that, so he could take a quick flight and all that. But curious, is he bringing the iPad with him?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out. That's gonna be interesting.
Coaching via Skype.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, why not? We're gonna do that with our with some of our guests in the future when we do it live. So we're gonna be using Skype quite a bit.
I like him as a coach, though. I think I love him as a broadcaster. I know people, love him or hate him because he says what he thinks, and you may not like what he thinks.
Yeah, he's kind of like somebody that I know over here.
But I love that. I love that he has an opinion, and whether you like it or not, he has an opinion.
Likes him because he's got his own opinions.
But what are you trying to say?
Whatever. If you guys don't like him, be sure to write down. You don't like Peter down there.
What?
No,
this is about Eric, not me.
Okay, Eric Ronaldo. All right.
So, anyways, I'm excited for him to see what he can do as a coach for the Las Vegas Lights.
Awesome.
All right, guys, that's the end of the show.
We wrapped it up.
And so I want to remind you to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. It really does help us as we start to grow this channel. And
let us know what you guys want to talk about, who we should get for guests. Tell us you don't like Peter down there. And yeah, that's it.
I don't like the way the turn the show took. See you guys next time.
Take care.